Welcome to another Stone and Wood post show from a brilliant opening day of competition here at stop number 7, the Western Australia Margaret River Pro. What an event this is, what an afternoon. The waves came to the party, the sunset's looking spectacular. These Stone and Woods don't stand a chance, not a chance in hell. But this has been a magic day to kick things off. A lot of excellent scores dropped, and when the conditions got a little tricky, we saw some great finishes to the day. Ronnie Blakey with Richie Lovett, Vaughan Blakey. Rich, what'd you make of it all? There's a lot to take in.
I made a lot of it, actually. I thought it was great. I don't think anyone's dropped it for the day. I didn't hear it. West is best. It's living up to the reputation. The Waves just delivered this morning. Incredible conditions to get the contest kicked off. And, you know, it got a little tricky this afternoon, but the performances were there. We had excellent rides all day long.
People pushing Vaughan to save themselves on this tour, trying to get above that cut line, trying to push off the attack of those desperate competitors. It was all going down.
Yeah, and actually one of the great surprises today was just how driven the guys around the cut line were to put on their best surfing. No one was tentative, no one looked stressed. A lot of the performances, the best performance of the day came from crew who really just tried to let the stress go to one side and bring their best performance out.
Yep. Attack mode. We love to see it. We saw it from Caroline Marks in that last heat. She's with AJ.
Caroline out here ripping on a board that you just put in the water for the first time in that heat. Talk me through why you made the board change and what worked so well with it.
Yeah, first time ever riding it. It's brand new. The swell dropped a little bit today, and I only have one size of this board, and I don't know, I'm really confident in my boards with Matt, so just was like, oh, I'm gonna try it out. Just felt like the right size. So I was on a different board this morning as well on the free surf. It was a bit windy, and I think the swell was a little bit bigger. So yeah, I don't know. It just felt like the right choice, and it worked out. But it felt really good, so I was really pumped.
We got to see some incredible power from you in that heat. Just how good does it feel to find a wave where you're feeling like it suits some of your strengths? Yeah,
I'm really stoked. You know, since Portugal, I've had a couple like tough heats. You know, like restarts and slow heats. I feel like I haven't even really been able to surf that much, and that's been on me too. You know, I've made some dumb mistakes and stuff that I've needed to work on. So that heat felt really good. I feel like I surfed a really smart heat, and I don't know, I just felt really solid. So I've been having a lot of fun here. So it's, yeah, just all around good vibes.
Speaking of a lot of fun, the last year have been a lot of milestones for you, including an Olympic gold medal. And then just recently, the Sports Illustrated issue came out. You were in a class of some incredible female athletes from around the world. Just what has it meant to you to really step into this level of women's sports?
Oh, it's incredible. I'm so inspired by all the amazing women around me. It was crazy. Like I got done with all my fittings, and then Jordan Childs walked in. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like my hero. So it's pretty crazy. And yeah, to see yourself like in a magazine still, I feel like everything's so online now. It's pretty amazing. So I'm really stoked, and the whole Sports Illustrated crew is so amazing to work with. And yeah, I feel really inspired and grateful to work with such amazing people. So yeah, it was an awesome experience.
And you're still inspiring the rest of us. Congrats, Caroline. See you in the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you, AJ, and congrats to Caroline Vaughan. You made the comment, just the backhand, squaring up a little bit more here at main break on day one, and looking all the bit, the world champ that she is.
Yeah, well, I think Erin sort of has set a new benchmark in women's surfing, and I've sort of said a few times, like, it's the best backside surfing vertical approach I've ever seen, and that's to take nothing away from Caroline Marks and Tatiana Weston-Webb, but there's just a bit more speed, there's much more attack, and I think that Caroline will be really sort of do herself a big service to go back to that vertical approach rather than the swoops when the section presents itself, because that's what won on world titles, and that's what's going to do it again.
And it wasn't the only backhand that we saw on the women's side getting the job done today, Rich. Bronte McCauley back in that CT jersey, and looking sharp.
Yeah, no, Bronte looking really good, coming in here relaxed, but she had a heat on her hands. Lakey Peterson and Katie Simmers, but Bronte, the local girl, she had the crowd behind her, and really surfing pressure-free. She said it's her retirement event, swan song event, and she really stood up. It wasn't the highest scoring heat of the round, but geez, there was some good surfing, and it was a great battle.
So appreciate when a competitor gives you that transparency so you can get on the train and ride that journey through the event. But instantly what I saw there from Bronte was her ability to really surf around the bowl of the wave, Vaughan, fade back and set up that that hit, that great hit that she's got in the pocket. Katie looked great at different stages too.
Yeah, she did. I think Bronte's local knowledge just came to the fore. The wind picked up a little bit. It started getting ruffled, but she never put a foot wrong. Every choice she made was on point. But Katie's surfing was very impressive as well.
Yeah, no, totally agree. But you know, back to the Goofies. Let's pay them. Let's pay them the respect they due.
And move on, because we're
move
regular.
on quickly, but we're on regular footers. But one thing I noticed with all of them, they all just held that bottom turn, that deep bottom turn for so long. It was something that sort of stood them out apart for the day.
Yeah, I love to see the backhand approach out here, because the Goofs don't get an opportunity to just really square up on a big, powerful wave. Bronte looked sharp. Katie Simmers looked exceptional. Lakey Peterson, who's won here before, is going to have to fight her way through the elimination round, which it's just turned out to be one of those ERs that's heavily stacked. And, you know, for some of those surfers desperate for results, you know, that stacked ER round couldn't have come at a worse time.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's there are no easy heats on the CT, as we all know, but when you're looking around,
but some are harder than others.
Look, some are harder than others. But this one is, this ER is particularly deadly, and yeah, I mean, it's just not where anyone wants to be right now, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Let's have a look at the Boost Mobile heat of the day. It was always going to be a good one. Cole Hauschman, another big backhander surfer, just throwing absolute hooks in the bowl. And Sammy Pupo also surfing excellent as well.
Oh, this was such a good battle again. The big goofy footer just squaring up and showing so much power on the backhand, but really Sammy Pupo was on fire as well. Two excellent numbers and really stepping it up in form, just bringing that real speed, carve, that sizzling approach, that precision off the top, just electrifying. He really turned up the volume.
We saw it in moments, Rich, at Burleigh from Sammy, but you know, that was a really complete performance. Both waves going excellent.
So much intent. You could see with from start to finish on his waves, he was Mach 10. You know, there was one intention, but geez, this guy was powerful.
Undeniable just brutality here from the big man. Just put the ballast on and just swung the weight around. He was just so impressive. And as you say, Ronnie, you know, like when a big fella gets that power and he can really square up and tee off, it's a wonderful sight.
So Barron Meyer, you know, he's got to turn things around. He started the year in the yellow jersey after event one, looking sharp. Also had a semi-final along the way, but since then a couple of mixed results, and now he's sort of falling into a dangerous trend of drifting away from the final five.
Yeah, he needs to just change the tyres and find some more tread and really get a grip, you know, and I think he's, you know, he'll need to dig deep in this elimination round. He can do it. Yeah,
this wave, I think, should suit him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got that power. He did have one rider in that clash, Vaughan, where he just showed how quick he can be when he rips that board through a carve.
It was just wave selection for me. Like, he didn't look really like he was off at all. The waves he got, if he had a section, he really laid into it. It suits him. As you say, Rich, I reckon he's got it in him. It just needs the waves.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the Surfline forecast. Today was a real treat. To rock up on day one and be greeted with such magic conditions was ideal. But what's coming our way, Rich?
A big old purple blob is what's coming our way, and that means that there's plenty of swell coming. No, that's a good thing, trust me. We've had 3, 4, 5 days of just incredible waves here over in the west. We arrived yesterday and it was thumping. So what we had today was the residual swell that was left over of that system, and then we've got a new one coming around the Tuesday mark. It'll start filling in Monday night, and Tuesday we should be greeted with a brand new swell. And you can see there Wednesday afternoon, it's going to be up around 15, 20-foot faces, which is solid, no nonsense Margaret River. Tomorrow, we'll come down and check it out. It's not a guarantee, but it's looking pretty good.
Really cool to hear from Kevin Wallace at Surfline throughout the day too, and just get some deeper insights into the Surfline forecast and asking him the big questions. Is there a chance that we could get to the box? He was sort of pretty positive. Yeah, about it. It's a hard one to commit to because obviously you want to get a full day of competition there, and you want to make sure people have a lot of opportunity as well. Yeah,
it's one of those really consequential waves. It's no nonsense. big, one of the heaviest pitch you're ever going to ride, really. But again, it's pretty fickle and kind of works itself out on the tide. So to get a full run day is pretty special. But you know, fingers crossed we get it, because I'd love to see it jump over there just even for a day. It'd be awesome.
It would be. Let's have a look at the Hydrolite heats to watch. We mentioned before that some big names got bumped into the elimination round. Have a look at this lineup: Barron Mamiya, Ryan Callanan, and the local boy Jacob Wilcox, who won through in the trials.
Yeah, great looking heat here. Well, Chippo, Jacob Wilcox, he had a bit of a shocker today, and he'll be looking to clean that one up. Arkell was in great form today, just a little unlucky with the wave choice again, and as you said, Barron was also surfing really good.
That's a tough heat. I mean, the women's elimination rounds are pretty hectic, and this one is no easier. That's a bad night's sleep for all three guys, I think.
Let's have a look at the Hydrolite heat to watch. On the women's side, it is, like we said, going to be a really tough one. Betty Lou Sakura Johnson coming off a victory at the last event up against Sally Fitzgibbons, who featured in that final as well, and the local Willow Hardy.
Must win for Sally. This is it. She'll be facing a trip over to Newcastle to rejoin the Challenger Series if she doesn't get this result. So a lot on the line. Betty Lou just getting a little reminder, it's not always going to go your way after a big win. And Willow Hardy, like, we haven't seen her best at all. She's the local. She's got a lot of crowd support. She's going to bring her best in this next heat.
Yeah, Willow and her dad, Jean, just an animal in waves of consequence, and we'll have her well prepped for that exchange, Vorno.
I think so, yeah. I've actually been working on a little surf film which Willow has a section on, or in, I should say, and mate, when she tees off, you'll know about it. So yeah, I think she'll be well primed for that.
Yeah, it'll be a fantastic clash. You don't want to miss the elimination round. Let's get into some of the big highlights from today now. The BioGlan Daily Dose, starting at number 5. Rock solid performance here from Cole Houshman, the highest heat total of the day.
Yeah, Cole Houshman, just the big, goofy footer, 6'10", I think he is. No, he's not quite that tall, but geez, he surfs big and so powerful on the backhand, just manhandling these waves. He was sort of unstoppable today in this heat against Sammy Pupo, and really two excellent surfers in this heat.
Yeah, it really looked solid over in El Salvador, but this year sort of struggling to reach the podium and match his performance as a rookie down at Bells Beach, but he's coming to life at the right time. Coming in at number 4, the defending champ Shine, Gabriella Bryan laid down this big hawk fawn, got herself an excellent score, only 2 turns for an 8.
This is the first time where she has just worn the yellow jersey like someone who really owns it. You know, I think that when she got it, a couple of scratchy heats, but this was just in her element. Big, powerful surf, big, powerful off the lips, and every bit looking like the world number 1 at the moment.
Yeah, amazing. Rich made the comment that she's really stepped into that role of being the most powerful surfer on the women's tour. You've got to agree with him. Coming in at number 3, Chianca, charging. His equipment just looking alive under his feet, but just in full attack mode.
Yeah, I really like Joao out at Margaret River because it irons out a few of the little wiggles that we can see when he's getting desperate. But this last finishing manoeuvre on that wave was something remarkable. That was one of those ones where you were like, there's no way he's going to ride out of this. He's not going to make it, and he did. And he got the score to boot.
Bronte McCauley coming in at number 2, local knowledge prevailing. And again, you can just see it. The work around that critical section of the wave, the ability to fade and get vert, really served her well.
Crew. Yeah, no, she had numbers on the beach, no surprise there. But what was impressive wasn't just the wave knowledge, it was the power. She just looks like she's really hooking into these bowls and throwing so much spray.
Yeah, got rolled across the reef for a trouble. That commitment, something you need here at Margaret River, and something that this guy has got. Coming in at number 1, the hometown hero, lights up the crowd, and they turned out and forced to cheer him on.
Oh, just the energy, the shaman, you could feel it, and was in total control through this heat and in perfect sync with the energy here at Margaret River. You had the crowd support and obviously the support of wife Julia there as well. And well, off day 1, kind of looks like the man to beat, doesn't he?
Welcome back to the juice. He was feeling every bit of that Indian Ocean out there and just responding to it beautifully.
Yeah, well, he you know, a 33rd on the Gold Coast. Who saw that coming for Jack Robinson? He's been so solid, and that's where he's living these days. It just was a major stumble, but he couldn't be heading to a better stop than his home break, where he learned his craft to turn things around and get himself right back up at the top end of the rankings.
Yeah, and I think also it's not to be discounted just how loud the crowd is down here when Jack, Bronte and Willow paddle out, and Chippo as well. Like, they are ready to cheer on these local heroes, and because he's going for his 3rd win here, you know, he's the guy. He's number 1. They want to really get in full voice and support him. He'll slurp up that energy.
What's it like for being a competitor here at Main Break, Rich? When you're out there, do you hear this crowd? Because we've just come from a venue, Burleigh Heads, where basically when the surfers are finishing off their rides, people can reach out and touch them, and the crowd is extremely audible. Julian Wilson knows that. What's it like here at Main Break?
It's not as loud, obviously, because you're not as close, but when there's that offshore wind, you can hear it. You can hear it. And when you hear it, you know it must be loud because it's traveling, you know, a couple of 100 yards to get out to you. So, you know, when you can hear the crowd, you've done something special. But as a competitor, looking back at the headland, it's one of the most picturesque views you're ever going to get as a competitor, and it feels pretty special. So, you know, thank you, Margaret River, for having us again. Yeah,
and thank you for getting behind all the competitors today. What a brilliant way to kick off stop number 7. We'll be down here bright and early tomorrow morning, 7:15. A call will be made for a possible 7:30 a.m. start, so tune in nice and early. Right now, though, enjoy today's highlights.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.